All right, Goo, hand up. That's on me. I said that I could name 3 Hinder songs. I sang Lips of an Angel, and I'll sing it again if you'd like me to. I'll always sing Lips of an Angel.
Pass.
And I knew at least another Hinder song. So I was like, I probably know a third Hinder song. Second Hinder song I knew, Better Than Me. I think you're much better than me. You know that one too.
I don't know that one.
Went through like their most popular 15 songs on Spotify. I only know 2 Hinder songs. 2. So hand up. I can admit when I'm wrong, Goo. I only know 2 Hinder songs.
I fucking knew it. Also, I only knew Lips of an Angel because one of our teammates in hockey had it as the ringtone for when his girlfriend called.
Yeah, I believe it came out '05, so smack dab in the middle of our high school careers.
Mm-hmm.
Really good era for butt rock and like post grunge sort of stuff, and also a weird era where like grunge music met religious music, and you had like bands that were copying Creed sort of shit. It was an interesting time in music, that's for sure.
All right, so I have gotten an F-bomb out of the way. You just said the S word. I am now going to once again, because you said the S word. Said shit.
Silly goose?
Yeah, You said silly goose. I mentioned at the end of last episode that for us to start making money on this, like this is too good not to make money off.
Too good.
So for us to start making money off this, we need to chill with the cursing. We need to stop with all these words that YouTube doesn't like. It's killing our algorithm. So we also talked last episode about how you grew up with an opposite swear jar where you got paid to swear.
Yeah, no, that's not a real thing that happened. But in a hypothetical world, that would have been awesome. That would have been.
What we're going to do here, though, is I have a piece of paper.
Okay.
I was going to do a sound effect. I feel like that would ruin the episode.
All right.
I am going to track our swearing.
All right. So we're up to 2?
So, yes, you have 1. I have 2, actually, because I said what you said back to you. You tricked me.
Are you keeping it separate or just Mac and Goo total?
Mac and Goo separate.
Okay.
And then
see, we used to have an intern that could do this stuff. Whoever
swears the most, I'm going to tally it up, and the other person owes the other one money. The money that we would have gotten from YouTube.
This is manure. This is manure because this is a fixed game. I swear more than you. You have a 5-year-old kid. You swear less. You swear less.
I'm thinking 69 cents a swear.
No.
All right, $1 then. Whatever.
I'll buy you a slice of pizza for every 10 swears that I have more than you at the end of each quarter.
I do like pizza.
I'll do a slice of pizza a quarter.
You keep on adding shit on there. No,
you can get up to a half a pizza a year. Every 2 years, whole pie.
I'm at 3 swears now, so no.
At the end of every episode, myself with manure.
Yeah. At the end of every episode, we're going to figure this out. You already made it a
competition. I'm already it.
And we're going to start tallying pizza slices. So.
One, goo, 3, yeah! Goo. Jaws 3. Goo. King of Queens. Goo. Meryl Streep. Entertainment.
I'm Goo.
And I'm Mac.
And we are the Mac and Goo program. We bring you polycharged podcasts.
I really wanted to introduce myself as Jungle Pussy, or Goo could have.
I told you in a text. I don't think we're allowed to say that.
Goo could call himself Jungle Gussy. I think Jungle Goosey.
We're not allowed to say it.
First of all, Goo, today, yes, I am. I'm totally allowed to say that. I like both things. I like jungles, and I like the other thing. We're talking about one battle after another, the latest, and dare I say, greatest Paul Thomas Anderson flick of all time. This sort of snuck up on us, Goo. We did our movie draft. I was reviewing the costs for some movies earlier today. This went for $1 in our movie draft, even knowing it was Paul Thomas Anderson and Leonardo DiCaprio. And then I would say maybe 5 months ago, pre-summer, as this was emerging from some of the festivals, people were like, oh, this movie's pretty fucking amazing. That built. And then like 2 weeks ago, or 2 weeks prior to release, people started saying like Oscar worthy, best movie of the year sort of stuff. And then Goose saw it a few days before I and undersold the shit out of it to me.
I told you.
Damn it. Swear.
I told you that Academy Awards were going to be sprinkled upon this movie, and I gave you names, and I even gave you deeper things of like, so-and-so is actually better in this movie, but expect this one to get an award. I did not undersell it to you.
I think you did.
I think you misconstrued what I said.
I have now seen the movie for a second time, Goo, and I think it is one of the best movies of the decade, and you could argue it being the best movie of the decade. And after first viewing, I was like, here's where we're at these days, Goo, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Mac and Goo lore, a 40-dogger gets to the Pantheon, right? That's so you don't want to necessarily pop in 40. You want to sit on it for a couple days, reassess. So I was trying to find reasons for this to not be a 40-dogger, and there's only like one thing that I have questions about, and I'm not even sure if I'm bothered by it. I just have questions about it. So I think this is the best movie of the year. It's the best movie since COVID, probably. And I think
I thought you were calling COVID a movie for a second. Like, that was real life. We all went through that.
I think you could, if you made a list of the 20 best movies since 2000, this movie is probably on.
All right. So beyond Mac's recency bias, can you please tell us what movie we're talking about?
I already mentioned it, Goo.
Did I?
Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, OBAA, as it's been shortened to on the internet. Goo, opening weekend, this made
let me say this. I wish the movie was bad. So our blurb for the DVD cover could have been One Battle After Another One Bites the Dust.
Yeah, I would have crushed it back.
It would have. It would have been is it the Wheel of Fortune that does it where they combine things? That could have been a Wheel of Fortune.
No, that's Jeopardy.
I don't think Jeopardy combines things.
That is Jeopardy. Why would Wheel of Fortune do that?
Wheel
of Fortune does it too.
They
both do it. They both do it. They both do it.
Don't do this to me. Don't disagree with me and then agree with me after.
Cute.
It sends me into a tizzy.
22 million opening weekend domestically for One Battle After Another. Easily Paul Thomas Anderson's most fruitful opening weekend, which says, I guess, what you need to know about PTA movies. It's up to $60 million worldwide right now. It does have a budget of $130 million, so it's got some work to do.
Yeah.
However, this movie's not going to really have, I think, too much of an issue staying number one for a month or so. So I think it's going to make its money back. And because of the Oscar buzz it's got going, this is going to make money the rest of the year. I don't know how much it'll make, but it'll make its money back.
Well, I think it'll continue to make money as it goes along, like a consistent amount of money, because word of mouth is good. And movies that are coming out the next couple of weeks, like you have the Taylor Swift's release party movie coming out this weekend, Smashing Machine that is already being forecasted under what it was supposed to at the beginning. So it has a bit of a clear runway. Good. Yeah, it has a clear runway.
Smashing Machine, which we have both now seen, pretty good movie. I think one of the 10 best of the year, but not nearly as good as this movie. And I think when people are going to be given the option of seeing that or this, they're going to choose this, and they have that option this weekend. Goo, One Battle After Another is an R-rated action, crime, drama, and thriller. It does all of those things amazingly well. Subgenres: action, epic, dark comedy, epic, and political thriller. Now, the politics, let's get this out of the way now so we don't have to talk about politics going forward.
I only want to talk about politics, though.
There are clearly some real-life things that influence events in this movie. However, those events are not the focus of the movie. They are an aside. They're happening off to the side of what's happening. And people are trying, some detractors of this movie are trying to say that this is like overtly political. It's not. Eddington is. Eddington is a movie that came out a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. That movie beats you over the head with it. That movie is about politics. This movie is about characters and communities and human stories that have a politics adjacent story.
I think it was more poly-charged at the beginning. And then there is something that happens in the movie that does bring it around a bit. We don't want to spoil anything. We'll talk about it in spoilers. but I do think there was something in it that kind of pushed it over the edge of being a little more political than maybe it would have been.
I mean, you have a character named Jungle Pussy. You can't have a character named Jungle Pussy, and you can't count any of the Jungle Pussies, by the way.
Well, no, you can't. No. Hold on.
No.
You think you can say it once? You can say it 20 times and it only counts once?
Colloquial diction for a private part is not a swear.
Yes, it is. You can say vagina.
Dick is not a swear. Dick is not a swear.
That counts.
No, it doesn't. All right, now the numbers are juiced. This is horse shit. There's a swear for you. So this movie, action, crime, drama, thriller, this movie is also one of the funniest movies of the year. The dark comedy in this movie is fucking amazing. Write that one down. This movie, I laughed out loud.
Don't challenge me.
I don't know how many times, Goo, and going back through a second time, writing down some lines and reading some of the quotes on the internet, like, it's still making me laugh. It's short of Friendship. It might be the funniest movie of the year.
The trailers for this movie, and by the way, it was really heavily pushed out to the audience, but the trailers for this movie almost make it look like a straight comedy.
Yeah, I get the trailers do. Yeah, the trailers do. So it is more thrilling and dramatic than the trailers give you. I'll give you that. But it's also funnier than what the trailers give you. They give you like the lowest hanging fruit in the trailers, which
and I also think, and I mentioned this on our last news dump there, that I think fun factor wise, this is Leo's best performance. Where
it's this or Wolf of Wall Street for fun,
especially after the time jump. It's almost like he's in his own separate world as opposed to what is going on around him.
Yeah, because you can really see there's a time jump of 16 years in this movie after the first act, and a good way of sort of getting across what Leo or what Bob and Willa have gone through is by what Leo is expressing and sort of avoiding, after those 16 years. They do a good job.
Let me ask you a question. You've seen it twice now.
Yeah.
Does Sean Penn look any different in the 16-year time jump?
A smidge. Yeah. But he's also like Sean Penn now looks exactly the same as he did 16 years ago. So I guess it works.
No, he doesn't. Have you seen Milk?
He's looked old for 15 or 16
Have you seen that episode of Viva La Bam where they were doing
probably
pranks?
Came out 15, Milk was like 2010. I think it did come out 15 years ago.
He looks completely different.
I don't agree.
The prank episode of Viva La Bam where Sean Penn's son was helping Bam get back at Knoxville.
Goo, this movie is 2 hours and 41 minutes, 161 minutes, and it fucking flies by. The pacing in this movie is so impressive. For a movie to approach 3 hours, and for me to never, not once, look at my watch, phone, whatever, and get so sucked into the story and the characters is so impressive, especially in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, where those movies, he has a history of making really long movies. And a lot of the times you're like, all right, let's kind of speed it up here. This is a masterpiece, Goo. He finally
he
used all his tools and finally painted his masterpiece.
Let me point out what I think helps out. They use a piano almost as if like it's like filling in for like footsteps or heartbeats in this movie, where the movie is constantly moving like jazz. And even when the piano's going one way, it can suddenly jam on and then go in a completely different direction.
I specifically made note on my second viewing of when the piano score really starts to take over. And it's as soon as Leo Bob goes on the run. And so now this piano score just sort of chases him throughout the rest of the movie, and it's perfect. It's so well done. So well done.
And that can be looked at, and I just thought of this, like that's in his mind so he is being chased, but he could feel like they're right behind him the whole time.
It's a really great decision they made there. Goo, on Roddy T's 96% from the critics and 85% from the audience. So like I said, some of the detractors that you mentioned were more early on, few and far between now. A lot of people have now seen this movie, and everyone is loving it. To that point, Goo, I think this now holds the record for highest Metacritic score we've ever reviewed, a 95 on Metacritic. I know we've done a few in the 80s. I don't even know if we've sniffed in the 90s. 95 is the highest Metacritic score we've ever reviewed. Of course, this is written and directed once again by PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, who really burst onto the scene in 1997 with Boogie Nights. Now, I would say, leading into this movie, Boogie Nights was Paul Thomas Anderson's best movie.
Also,
the other argument. Go ahead.
So also very accessible. That's what makes both of these movies stand out against his other ones. It's about being accessible.
Yeah. You also have I guess I'll just get to it when I speak. So 1999's Magnolia. I still haven't seen that one. That's the one I have to get to. 2002's Punch Drunk Love that I think has come back around. That wasn't all that well received, and I think we now, looking back on it, sort of missed out on that. There Will Be Blood in 2007, of course, famous for Daniel Day-Lewis's performance. And who's the
Milkshakes.
guy? Paul Dano co-stars in that, Milkshakes. Goo, I actually just recently
Bring
watched
all
that
the boys to the yard, and they're like,
out.
it's better than yours, damn right.
I don't care for that movie. It's really not a movie I ever want to watch again, and I don't know why I watched it for a second time. 2012's The Master. This is where I'm like, okay, do I really love PTA movies? I'm not sure. 2014's Inherent Vice. Some really good elements. Another movie that I was like, I don't think I need to rewatch this. 2017's Phantom Thread. I was like, this movie's made for no one. I don't ever want to watch this. Still haven't seen that. And then we had 2021 Licorice Pizza. And that's where I was like, okay, that movie's divisive. A lot of people hated that movie.
Me.
I didn't love it, but I liked a lot of the elements of it. And we were getting back more to the playful Paul Thomas Anderson that you sort of talked about with accessibility and things people can relate to. And that was sort of a precursor for this movie. And man, the more I've sat on this movie now that I've watched it for a second time, I think this is easily his best movie.
I could see that. I think I still lean toward Boogie Nights, but I also, I think the funny stuff in Boogie Nights is truly laugh out loud stuff. This movie did have me chuckling a couple times, but the stuff with Philip Seymour Hoffman and with William H. Macy, that stuff kills me in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I laughed more in Boogie Nights than I laughed in this. I think Boogie Nights is more uneven than this. I think this is a better script. It's a better written movie. Now, the characters of Boogie Nights are all the time. Not that these aren't either. So they're pretty similar in that
give
respect.
it some time, recency boy.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be on the right side of history here, Goose.
I don't know about that because, Burt Reynolds would agree with you. He hated Boogie Nights.
Goo, this script was inspired by the 1990 novel Vineland by Thomas Pynchon. It's amazing that this novel's been out there for that long, and it only, I guess it's not adapted, but it only came to screen something like it this many years later.
They would really have to modernize it with a lot of what's in this movie.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's just they more took the themes than anything else from that book. But I'm sure
there weren't cell phones in 1990.
Correct, but you did see the use of some payphones here.
Yeah.
Synopsis of One Battle After Another. When their evil enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue one of their own's daughter. Perfect, simple, concise.
Yep. The bad guy is Sean Penn. Oh, sorry.
This movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio as Bub. He previously was known as Ghetto Pat, a.k.a. Rocket Man. Sean Penn as Captain/Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw. He is the aforementioned villain. Benicio Del Toro as Sensei Sergio St. Carlos. And to Goo's credit, this is the one tidbit that he gave me that he's right about. Sean Penn is probably going to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. Benicio Del Toro, they need to create a new category so that Benicio Del Toro can also win.
Because he's beyond Plemonade. He's in too much of the movie for Plemonade. Yes. But he is the most likable character. I think he'll be the character that everyone remembers from this movie. Because there's a couple lines that are not throwaway, but they're like a couple small beers. The way that he rolls out the rug. Such good stuff in this.
I think there's a podcast at Bruin here. Best Wingmen, and he might be number one.
Wingmen.
Yeah, best wingmen in movies. Be a decent one.
I take the drum. You can have the flat.
Those three, though, Leo, Sean Penn, and Benicio, are all three extremely different characters and absolutely demolished their roles. It's extremely impressive. And then lesser roles, but still mean a lot in certain parts of this movie. We have Teyana Taylor as Perfidia Beverly Hills, Leo's love interest in the first act of the movie. and then the mother of Goo's newcomer of the year, Chase Infinity, as Willa. I thought Teyana Taylor was very good. Maybe the weakest of the bunch, but she's in just the first act.
Would you watch her from afar with binoculars?
So that's a great question, Goo. If you had to pick one person on the planet, not named your wife, to watch from afar with binoculars, who would you pick?
Well, you're already taking my wife off the board, so I don't even know what to think. I love my wife.
Yeah, good way to sit on the fence there, Goo. Teyana Taylor was good. She was mostly one note. She did what she needed to do. The most underrated character in this movie is probably Regina Hall as Deandra.
Mm-hmm.
She pops up a couple times in this movie, conveys incredible emotion while she does. I don't know if I've ever seen Regina Hall in this series of a role. I'm not the biggest Regina Hall fan. I'm not seeking out her movies, but she was tremendous in this movie. You have Wood Harris as Laredo. You might remember him as Julius Campbell and Remember the Titans, but more notably as Avon Barksdale in The Wire. If you look at his known for on IMDb, The Wire's not even listed. That's insane. Alana Haim in here as Mae West. Paul Thomas Anderson, notably like the biggest Haim fan on the planet. Shayna McHale as Jungle Pussy, who has a couple great lines in this movie. Paul Grimstad as Howard Somerville. He's sort of the tech guy of them all. He's the one that makes the little beepy things, vibrating things. And then we have two role players in here that are in maybe 3 scenes each, and all of the scenes they're fucking tremendous in. You have James Ratterman as Danvers. He's the interrogator guy, the guy that's sitting people down. He is so calmly menacing. It's incredible what he achieves in such a short time on the screen. And a little background about him. This is only his second movie ever. He actually spent 20 years in Homeland Security. So he's actually coming from some real stuff here. And I think that's why it works so well. And then finally, Eric Schweig as Avanti. He was the bounty hunter that Lockjaw hires, who has a couple great scenes as well. Quick fun fact for the folks. If you have not seen this movie or you want to see it again, shout out to Sam Libby, Mac and Goo listener. This movie was filmed on VistaVision, Goo. Are you aware of VistaVision? You heard of this?
I'm aware of VistaVision, yes.
So this hasn't really been a thing that's been used in 30 years. It was last popular in the 80s. The only remaining VistaVision theaters on planet Earth are in London, New York City, Los Angeles, and at Coolidge Corner in Brookline. So if you are in the area and want to see this as it was truly shot, go to Coolidge Corner. It's a great theater nonetheless, anyways.
Parking sucks, but go ahead.
Parking does suck, so take public transportation. But if you would like to see this as it was shot, go to Coolidge Corner in Brookline.
So we'll give Sam Libby a shout-out for that. We'll also give my coworker, Kyle Bray, a shout-out who is doing that as a story.
Oh, love that. Love that. And I might go see it for a third time, Goo. That's how much I like
what?
This
movie. A third time?
Yeah, well, now I've been talking about it for a week, and my lady friend's like, wow, you really like this movie. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Has she seen it?
No, she has not seen it.
Okay, so, why don't you see it one more time by yourself and then one time with her, and that gives you 10 hours.
Oh, so you just want me to have seen a movie for 10 hours?
I kind of want you to, spend 10 hours on a movie.
Okay.
That's kind of what I want.
All right, Gil, do you want me to start with my spoiler-free takeaways here?
Spoiler-free takeaways, then we'll do Octagon, then we'll spoil.
Okay. This movie is one of the more well-paced movies I've ever seen. They could not have paced it any better for 2 hour and 41-minute movie. The score, as Goo and I talked about a few minutes ago, by Johnny Greenwood, I think is probably going to win the Oscar for best score. The piano keys that Goo was talking about, that's bouncing around almost in pursuit, following Bob in the second half of this movie, is so good. And I think I really picked up on it more the second time. And it's quietly haunting and scary, and it really amps up things. It makes it more thrilling, more chaotic. It's tense. It's anxiety inducing. And this movie, as tense and anxiety inducing as it is also so funny. It's like, I can't underscore how funny this movie is. It gets super serious, and then a few minutes later, I was belly laughing anyways. It's just the way this movie is written was wonderful. The 3 characters that we highlighted above, Lockjaw, played by Penn, such a wild character. He's such a broken, visceral, just a base person. He cares more about being honored and his status than his actual self and self-respect. He's just so pathetic, but in an amazingly brilliant way. It's a truly all-time character. That said, Benicio Del Toro, I'm not like Lockjaw. You could see a few actors doing that and pulling it off pretty well. I'm not sure there's another actor on planet Earth that could pull off what Del Toro does in this movie. He's just this like street level community hero type of character who is confidently quiet and strong and very funny in several moments in this movie. Like I said, all-time wingman. I like maybe someone out there can think of an actor that could do it. I'm not sure there is another one. You have Leonardo DiCaprio playing this just Lebowski-like character, like, but to the nth degree, this former revolutionary who's trying to cope with all his missteps in parenting over the years. And he's messed up so bad that like all he does is smoke weed and drink booze. And that's his life now. And what this movie really boils down to on one level is how useless his character is, but he's just trying his best and he's showing up, and somehow, some way, that's all someone really needs. That's kind of the magic that makes it work. And also because he was so good at what he did prior, he has this respect and he has this built-in system that is saving him in the future. And so that it's just another great character. And then the last thing I want to highlight before we get to other stuff is there's like a 5 or 10 minute, maybe longer, maybe 20-minute car chase.
It also could have been shorter. I don't even know.
I have no idea.
Time doesn't matter.
I was so enthralled by the desert car chase over these rolling hills that takes you on a literal and metaphorical roller coaster ride, and it ends in such great fashion. The way that he chose to shoot this, like on the bumper of the cars going over the hills, was just, it was really cool. It was really, really cool. And I can't praise this movie enough, Goo. It's a tremendous movie.
Do you want to shove the octagon in here?
Sure.
All right. Fun factor, I think that Leo is wildly fun. And while there is one thing that I think takes it over the edge for one character, like it takes away the middle ground of like, are they good? Is there anything? The Christmas Society does have some funny jokes
Christmas
in it.
Adventurers.
Whatever it is. It does have some funny jokes in it. I'm just not sure if I liked it overall in the movie.
Yeah, you had mentioned that when your like your initial feelings were being divulged to me, and I don't agree because I do think it is a bit fantastical compared to like real life stuff, but we also don't really know real life stuff.
No,
so
we don't know anything. I understand that.
I thought it fit. I thought it worked fine.
But I did think it was fun. That's what I'm saying.
Factor, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So the two characters here that highlight the funness and go on this buddy cop adventure for almost an hour are Leo and Del Toro. And when they're on the screen together, you're having fun. You're having a blast. And for a lot of it, they're not even talking to each other. They're doing different things, but in the same room. And like what they're doing is so drastically different, and it's really funny. There's a couple moments where Leo's outright screaming on the telephone and Benicio's just calmly going through stuff. And I also really loved when Benicio first walks into his apartment, he stops and introduces him to every single person.
Yes.
And like, they're kind of got to go here. And he stops and introduces him to everyone.
Well, he also treats him like a child.
Yeah, but also with the the utmost respect, you know?
Well, no, so like he treats him like it's someone that's either learning how to walk or learning how to walk again. Like he needs time to, refine his steps. Del Toro knows that he has it, but he has kid gloves on.
Yeah, and I kind of liked that they give you enough of Del Toro to know that he's also kind of a revolutionary. So he just would naturally know a little bit. And then at some point he figures out Bob is this earlier Pat character. And I love that there's no big reveal there. He just like puts 2 and 2 together.
Satisfactor, it does get a little Tarantino-y at the end. The way that Tarantino tries to give you a big old explosion.
Yeah, you get that. You get the Tarantino-y thing. But then there's like another 10 minutes after that gives like an even more satisfying conclusion to a character that I didn't expect. I thought that character was sort of going to end when we see him walking down the road, and we get a even better ending.
Well,
I really appreciated that.
I think that end that you're talking about, the final 10 minutes, was very Tarantino.
No, I think the Tarantino thing was the road, what happens on the road chase.
No, because Tarantino takes that extra step to really let you know, like, I hate this person as much as you.
Yeah, but it wasn't as fantastic as Tarantino would have made it.
Well, Tarantino would have had machine guns and machetes.
Better, yes, but it fits better in this movie, I guess is what I'm saying.
Barometer, I felt the time a little bit. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. I felt it a little bit.
Fair enough. It's a long movie. I didn't. You know what? To be fair, just because of the length, it was like in my mind while I was watching the first movie.
Yeah.
But the second time around, it felt quicker than the first time because I'm getting excited for certain scenes. I know it's coming.
Will this movie wane over time? Halloween, Mac, it has to for you.
I don't know. I think I had it maybe at 39 when I left the theater, and I talked myself up to 40. So I think the opposite.
Oh, don't tip your hot dog hand.
It's going to be 41 in a week.
It's a hot dog bowl. Let's see here. When life gives you Plemons, Jesse Plemons hops on screen and says, I'm going to do the best with what I have these couple minutes, and he makes the movie that much better. I don't know if any smaller character made the movie that much better because the main characters were so good. I liked the Nun.
James Ratterman as Danvers, the interrogator.
He was good too.
Crushes his scenes and adds a level because with Lockjaw, he's a loose cannon and you're not really sure what he's going to do. Danvers, you're like, this guy messes people up for a living. This guy ruins lives and he's not going to go back on it. He is sure in what he's doing.
Liked that wife who had famous banana pancakes.
Yes.
I don't care for banana pancakes, but I do like that someone would have famous banana pancakes. I just like my pancakes plain.
I mean, I'm not a pancake guy. I'll let you be the pancake
Pancakes
guy.
Are good on their own. We don't need to put all this stuff in there.
Pancakes lesser than French toast.
Multiple pancakes.
Waffles.
Multiple pancakes are pankai.
Pankai lesser than French toast, lesser than waffles.
Go into a diner and order pankai and see what happens. What else do we have in the octagon? Max Credit Union.
It's got to go to DiCaprio. It just has to. I think that he's at his absolute best in this movie, and over the last decade or so, I think he's had pretty up and down performances. I loved him in Killers of the Flower Moon. He's playing such a mean character there, and he's playing such a good-spirited character here, and also a pathetic one, but still a really. There's just something about this character that's like inherently great, and you root for and want him to succeed. I think I've thought about it, and now there is a couple more movies coming out. You have Marty Supreme, so Chalamet is going to be in things. Jeremy Allen White will probably get nominated for the
Springsteen movie. Yeah.
There's another movie I keep forgetting that's getting a lot of buzz too. But Leo's going to be nominated for Best Actor, and I have a hard time seeing anyone taking the throne from him. I think he's going to win his second Oscar for this.
For those of you tardy to the Mac and Goo party, we rate everything on a 40 hot dog rating system. Mac, I think that one of the character choices that we get with Lockjaw kind of took me out of it a little bit. I really like how fleshed out all the characters are, how they give you that half an hour at the beginning to really let you know what each character is about. And then 16 years later, how they've evolved over time / kind of fallen off / I really appreciate too. And this is a little bit spoilery, but I like how our heroes, our revolutionaries, when caught, it doesn't take a lot for them to rat each other out. And I like how it's not this honor among thieves type of thing. It's still looking out for myself.
Yeah.
And I do really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a more honest approach
yes.
to what would actually happen. And it just speaks to, like, ultimately, before I hijack your review here, ultimately at its core, this movie is somehow still a very human story.
Yes. So we love the score. I love the piano in this. It really set the tone for the entire movie. Wait, did I already say that I felt the time? I felt the time a little bit. But I'm looking at 38 hot dogs, and I could probably be talked up a little bit, but I don't think it's necessarily perfect. It just might be one of the best movies of the year.
All right. Number one, I hate you. Number two, do you have anything above it?
I mean, like, things that I like more?
Do you have anything above it?
Well, is like and favoriting, does that mean better?
If you're making a list, which you do on Letterboxd,
yeah.
Is there anything above this movie?
So I would say technically no. Like, this is probably the best movie of the year. Is it my favorite movie of the year? On Letterboxd, is it number one? No.
What's number one?
Friendship.
Okay. All right. Is this number two?
Superman.
Wow. Okay.
I love Superman. And let me also say this. Peacemaker is making me like Superman more. / I started Creature Commandos at the gym. So this is my new gym show. I watch it while doing my elliptical. Okay. And 20 minutes in the first episode, cartoon nudity. Good thing to watch at the gym. I'm there. I'm watching hentai. Don't worry about me.
This is a 40 dog movie. It's the best movie of the year. It's the best movie of the last 2 or 3 years.
Is it number one on your Letterboxd?
It's number one on my Letterboxd. Out of 32
Oh, yeah, there's
movies,
a D at the end. I forgot. There's a D.
I think it's better than anything from the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Going back further, I'd have to look. And I've sat on that for a few days now, and now I've watched the second time, and I'm like really sure of that now too. So it is what it is. I love this movie. It's now one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm pretty happy about that. I'm a little disappointed in Goo, but what are you going to do? It's what makes us different that makes us great.
I give it 38 hot dogs. That's an A.
All right. Spoilers. Goo mentioned in his scathing review of this movie that the first 30 minutes are set the scene and really go a long way. And I think my first text I sent to you after this movie was talking about how basically the first 33 minutes could have been its own movie outright. Like there's so many things that happen there, and it sets the scene for the next 2 hours of this movie. But the first act is such a great story in and of itself. You get the French 75 attack on the border holding. You free the people. Perfidia and Lockjaw have that weird scene where she makes him get an erection, which once I saw that, 3 minutes in the movie, I'm like, all right, we're in for something.
Let me ask you a question here. If someone's holding a gun to your head, do you think you could get it up?
0% chance. 0% chance.
Even if they didn't tell me to, I might just do it. I'm like the Incredible Hulk. You know how he's always angry?
You're always horny.
I'm always horny.
We get the montage of the French 75 with Bob and Perfidia with their attacks, bombings. We get a quick look into really their relationship, how smart, prepared, and calculated Bob is, or at the time Pat, and how emotional and impulsive Perfidia is. They're really, really yin and yang here.
And also her rejection of being like, she doesn't want to be so planned out, / she really wants to fly with the wind.
Yes. Yep. And then we get the scene that Goo and I talked about a little bit already. Lockjaw begins stalking Perfidia. He's got his binocs, and he's really taking the sights in. And it seems like they both have this similar kink of a power struggle sort of thing. He catches her in that bathroom. They go to meet at the motel, and they're both into it. They're both very into it. So that was like, all right, what's really going on here? Presumably they do a little hanky-panky there. Then we cut. Perfidia is very pregnant, shooting that machine gun, and their dynamic comes back up. Leo is more concerned about her health, safety, and pregnancy than she is, and that's really what dominates their relationship. To the point where once she has the baby, she then becomes jealous of her own baby, which is a very real thing, and a thing that happens. And some of what I've read online over the last week is talking about how much Maya Rudolph, who Paul Thomas Anderson is married to, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Maya Rudolph, his daughters, and his own life experiences have played up in this script. And you can really see it in the dynamic amongst. So, number one, Paul Thomas Anderson has mixed children, which we see in here. You see there's that moment where Leo doesn't know how to do her hair, that type of thing. And you just see that dynamic play up here. So I think his own life experiences are really affecting this movie and what in part make it a masterpiece.
I mean, I get jealous of my son all the time.
The next events sort of pop off when Perfidia shoots the guy in the bank robbery. They go on the run, but she gets caught by the Popo, the 5-0. Yep. Lockjaw helps her get a plea deal, and she dimes everyone out immediately.
Yep.
She goes into witness protection. She's in some, upscale neighborhood, and everyone has to disappear. This is where Somerville gives everyone those scanners and their new identities. We get Bob and now Willa Ferguson instead of baby Charlene and Pat. Lockjaw then goes to visit Perfidia after he's been promoted to colonel, and he's expecting like White House picket fence, this whole thing. And he goes in. This was the first laugh out loud moment. Goes into the home, sees a note taped up to the window, and it says, "This pussy don't pop for you." Incredible way to get broken up with.
I also do love, so when they're all leaving and they're all getting their new identities, I love that her mother was like ready for this to happen. And she's just like, all right, bye, see you later.
Yeah. And there is a really interesting scene in here too, where when Perfidia is still pregnant and her mom is just like dressing Leo down, like you're not good enough for her. And it almost seems like she doesn't really care too much about the baby either. She cares more about La Revolution than the baby. So it's very interesting.
Years of being revolutionaries, and you almost like, so she knows that her daughter is not going to take care of the baby as she should, as a prototypical mother would. And maybe that's how she felt when she was having her.
I think that's why, at the end, we'll get to it in a few, like the end of the movie is pretty meaningful too with the letter that gets left there. We cut to 16 years later. They're in Backton Cross. I'm a fool to do your dirty work.
Oh, that's a good song.
More. Great song. We see Leo smoking in his car, waiting for Willa while she's inside at karate with Sensei. And I thought that was a great, open into the next set of the movie. I'm not going to run through the rest of the timeline. It's just watch it again if you'd like. But Goo, what I think essentially what this final 2 hours of the movie boils down to is you have this crazy racist, which is the big part of the movie you take issue with. Essentially just wants to kill his 16-year-old daughter so he can join a racist club.
So I just think that making him a white supremacist, making him a racist, which I'll be honest, I'm not even sure if he is, or if he just wants to be a part.
He wants status.
He wants the status.
Or he wants community.
Right. But I think that you could have made that high society club not be a white supremacy club, and it's still the same type of thing. I think by making him a white supremacist, and also he is in charge of these, ICE raids and everything else, you are adding that little bit extra that I'm not sure if you needed in the movie.
I think it really worked for me. I'm not saying, I'm not even necessarily disagreeing with you, because I do think that that's going to be an issue for some people, and maybe the people that didn't like it probably didn't like that aspect. So I understand what you're saying. It just really worked for me. And again, I think because it seemed so genuine to me too, from the other side, from his own experiences. So I think it just worked.
Well, also,
I think the detractors of this movie will boil it down to that.
And I would also say
2 hours of a racist guy chasing a girl to kill her.
I would also say that, after he, brings flowers, brings posies to his love, and then she leaves, there's still a chance that he's not all bad. He is on the inside, but he keeps doing things of
he's doing bad things, but he's not a bad guy sort of thing.
But he's also I don't really care about this job. It's just my job type of thing. Mm-hmm. But then once you introduce, you're okay, do I kind of side with him? I don't really know who he is yet. But then once you introduce,
he's lost.
Yeah, exactly. But then once you introduce it of no, he's trying to join this white supremacy club, you're oh, that's the bad guy. There's nothing redeeming anymore. It's just here's white, here's black.
So I think you're underselling that, because I think it's because in his head, he doesn't want to do that, but it's such a base and simple thing. He knows he can join that. And so he's looking for a sense of community everywhere else and keeps failing. So ultimately he's fuck it, fine. I'll do the most obvious thing here. It's a lockjaw thing, and it's a defining characteristic of him that he's doing that. I don't think it's lazy. I think it's pretty.
I never said
poignant.
I never said it was lazy.
Okay, you kind of gave off some lazy vibes there.
Well, that's
Goo,
just me in general. I'm like
the
a
final
Snorlax.
scene of this movie shows Willa and Bob sitting down at the table, and she finally calls him Dad. The whole rest of the movie, she's calling him Bob, and I think she's coming from a point where she never believed any of the shit he said. And he still prepared her for all of this. And she lives through this because of his preparation. And then, in part because of that, but also I think because she learns about her mother in this movie, number one. And number two, she finds out that Lockjaw is her biological father. And she realizes it took those things that Bob really is a great father. He doesn't necessarily do anything great in this movie. But again, being there, being available and trying. And there's some really nice things about that. Like, even though he failed tremendously at every turn, he's still considered a good dad. And is there you as a father, is there something in there where you relate to her, it puts a smile on your face?
Oh, no. So I love the father-daughter dynamic in this. And also, I think we've already talked about this, but so Leo doesn't save her in this movie.
No.
He shows up at the very end
herself.
After she saves herself, but she saves herself through everything that he taught her through the years.
Yes.
And then not only that, and not to put it all on this, but I like that she is in karate and she does learn discipline through that. And that's something that Leo, I would imagine Bob, has her do to really work on her focus.
Right. And there's something really beautiful about that process, thinking about that for every person to think about. In the moment, you may not have done the right thing, or you may have felt like you faltered, but because of your preparation, your process over the prior X amount of time, you still succeeded. And I think that's beautiful in and of itself. That's really cool. And they do a good job of showing that in this movie. Goo, Lockjaw meeting his demise at the hands of the Christmas adventurers.
Yes.
I loved it. When we saw him marching down the road, king in the castle, I have a chair. I was like, he's fucking survived. And then 1 minute later, he's sitting in front of the panel with his messed up Michael Myers ass face.
Yeah. And
he gives an incredible line talking about being raped in reverse. And the old guy leans in, he goes, "A semen demon?" Fucking killed
That's
me.
a good joke. Yeah.
And then, of course, they gas him, get rid of him. That was a really fitting end for such a pathetic character. Still seeking approval from the people that already knew he would never get approved. I thought it was perfect for Lockjaw.
Yeah. I also he's such a bastard. He's such
bastard.
even when he finds out that Infinity chases his daughter, there's no moment of what am I doing here? It's immediately he has his mind made up and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I also, 2 notes on the Christmas adventurers.
Yes.
The Jingle Bells being their secret knock. Great.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Hail Saint Nick. All that stuff's good. That whole fake lore they built up was very funny. So this is, I wouldn't call it a gripe because the more I'm thinking about it, I think I like the decision. But my only gripe after my first watch, which now I think is just questions surrounding it, is Perfidia never comes back into this story outside of that letter at the end. And it felt very obvious, abundantly obvious, that she would come back into the story somehow, some way, and she just doesn't. So clearly it's an intentional thing. This would be the question I would want to ask PTA, of why he didn't bring her back into the story.
Parents don't always come back.
I guess that's true. And because if she was a shitty parent anyways. And then in the letter she asked, will you try to change the world like I did? So still trying to influence her to be more like her, it's interesting. I think I like it now, but it's a curious decision. And I wonder if some people also didn't like that.
Just no attachment to any of it.
Goose, some scenes here that I highlighted while rewatching.
Yeah.
When Willa's friends come and pick her up at the house for the dance, incredible scene with Leo. First of all, she's chastising him for drinking and driving. He goes, "I know how to drink and drive. I know what I'm doing." And then they pull into the driveway and he goes, "They have a red car like that?" Like he's just irritated. And then he opens his door and says, "What up, homie?" And then when he's yelling at her to repeat whatever, And the kid turns and goes, "What?" He goes, "Not you, SA. Get in the fucking car." It was like beat after beat. He was nailing them. You get the Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, Hooverville Junction. That's their like safe thing. I also loved Leo's getting high as fuck watching the Battle of Algiers when he gets this phone call, the secret phone call, and that's what sends him into a frenzy, and that's what really gets this movie going for the next 90 minutes with the piano keys. And I mean, I don't divulge, in the weeds, but I imagine that was a pretty great depiction of what that situation might be like if you were in that situation.
And he has that plug-in block phone that he's bringing with him. He's trying to charge everywhere.
Yeah. And then Bob arguing with Comrade Josh on the phone for like a good 30 minutes of this movie is high-class comedy. Josh telling him maybe you should have studied the rebellion text a little harder and hang up. And then when he finally asks him, he's like, "What's your name?" Comrade Josh. Get a better name, Comrade Josh. That's a fucking ridiculous name for a revolutionary. Sensei telling Bob what the time was when Leo's trying to figure out the code. He goes, "That's 8:15." And then he calls it a Greyhawk 10, motherfucker. And then finally he gets the coordinates to the Chupacabra Hill by his old comrade asking him, "What's my favorite kind of pussy?" He thinks for a second. He hasn't answered anything right in hours. And he goes, "Mexican hairless," like it was like yesterday. Once again, Sensei Bob introducing Sensei introducing Bob to everyone was great. Sensei yelling at the kid to get off his phone, and then Bob thinking Sensei's yelling at him was amazing. Viva la revolution! That was great. And then the interrogator interrogating Willa's friends at the high school. He asks the kid that picked her up, "Do I look like your parent?" And he goes, "Kind of." Of course, we get a few small beers. All-time line. The Christmas, what are they called? Christmas Adventurers, talking about a possible nugget shortage because of all the people that were being detained. And then the scene between Willa and Lockjaw in that like big ass church was so cool looking. And she also at one point asked him why his shirt's so tight. And he goes, "I'm not gay, if that's what you're thinking."
That's your response to anytime someone's, "Oh, Mac, you have a nice scarf on, right?" Oh.
This is such a fun movie, and it was really fun to watch again, which I wasn't sure, and this is why I think it solidified my feelings on the movie in it, where it ranks in the pantheon of cinema goo, is because on the second rewatch it was such a breeze and so easy to rewatch, and I think I'll be getting Shawshanked by this movie for the rest of my life.
Let's get into MacSack.
And MacSack could be anything. It could be a boat. For those of you not in the know, we just wrapped up September, and what an adventure it was. We tiered so many things, and we did a great job on all of them, I would say.
Yeah, no doubt. We never.
I had so much fun, and now as we roll into the spooky season of October, I'm thinking the theme for this month, October.
Wow, I've never heard of that.
Right, so what we're going to do here, Mac, our first tiering of the month, since it is spooky, I'm going to try to explain this to you, and I'm not sure if I know how to do it.
Okay,
so what we're going to do, I have here a tier of horror movie killers. I want you to tier them by how happy you would be or sad, embarrassed if you were killed by them.
Can I change it, flip it, and reverse it?
How do you want to do it?
Can I tier it by who I think would have the easiest to hardest time killing me? Like who I might be able to get away from?
No. So it's already tiered a certain way. I'm not making a new tier. What we're going to do is I'm going to throw a name at you. If you think it's someone that shouldn't kill you, you say, "I'm embarrassed by that."
Oh, all right.
I'd be embarrassed to be killed by them.
Okay. All right.
So the tiers that we are looking at today, at the bottom is I'm embarrassed. Second tier from the bottom, where did I mess up? How did this happen to me? The third tier from the bottom is, so you're going to die.
Okay.
Fourth tier, gentlemen, it's been a privilege playing with you tonight. Second from the top, re-2-pecked.
Yep.
And at the top, re-5-pecked.
I don't know, Mark.
No more's better than Derek Jeter. He deserves more respect.
I'm never going to argue for Derek Jeter.
So, Mac, and don't forget you have stamps.
There's a lot of things here.
There's a lot of fucking killers, stupid. Oh,
Right.
I just swore again.
I would have liked
you questioned
whether
me.
I could get away from them or not.
Once again, if you feel like you shouldn't be killed by them and they do kill you, you're embarrassed. Or you say, where did I mess up?
All right.
Simple enough. Mac, starting off with Michael Myers from Halloween.
I honestly, as much as I love Halloween and Michael Myers as a character, I'd be sort of embarrassed if he killed me. Like,
You'd be embarrassed by
he'd be pretty easy to get away from.
Wow. Because Michael Myers, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I
can't
believe
run,
has the 4th most kills in movie history.
He can't run. And although he showed the ability to drive, I don't know if he can climb. What if you just climb a tree and then now Michael Myers can't kill you?
I forgot of how highly you think of yourself, and you're going to be embarrassed by all of these. Chucky from Child's Play.
If I'll punt Chucky to the fucking moon, not a chance Chucky's killing me. I'd be embarrassed.
So you'd be embarrassed again?
Yeah.
Dear God. How about Artie the Clown?
I haven't seen these movies. What are these movies again called? They've come out the last few years.
Oh, what are these movies called?
I
What are
forget.
these? Artie the Clown.
I don't like. I guess I'd be embarrassed because he's a clown.
Terrifier.
Terrifier. I haven't seen these movies, so I
You'd
don't
be
really know
embarrassed by Artie too. You can't be embarrassed by all of them.
I don't know what he can do, but if you get killed by a clown, that's embarrassing.
All right. How about Buffalo Bill?
I'd be less embarrassed. He's pretty methodical, planned out.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's probably gonna do some weird sex thing with me, so that's a little embarrassing. So you're going to die.
So you're going to die. I'd put him more in like, where did I mess up? Because clearly I did something wrong where he was able to take advantage of this.
Well, that's a lot. That's a common thing with all these killers,
I suppose. How about Candyman?
I would have to go re-5 spec for Candyman because I can't really control Candyman. You know.
Well, you can not say his name in the mirror,
but I'm gonna have some friend with some tomfoolery summoning Candyman, and then there's nothing I can do about it.
How about a Dracula?
I could see myself falling in love with a woman Dracula. So, re-2-pecked on this one.
Re-2-pecked to Dracula. How about a Frankenstein monster?
It's a lot like Michael Myers. I just don't know how they, like, if I just walked down the street, I don't think they could kill me.
Yeah, but what if you're picking flowers by the river and he pulls you in with his charm and then he throws you in the river?
I'd be embarrassed if Frankenstein kills me.
Freddy Krueger.
Re-5-pecked. This is the one I like asleep, and I don't even remember my shit half the time. Yeah, if Freddy gets me, there's nothing I can do about it.
Nothing about that. What about Ghostface? And I guess I'll just throw it out there as a big generic Ghostface, but you can look at individual ones if you want.
I would say the commonality with Ghostface, right? It's probably going to be one of your friends. So
or two of them.
Yeah, or two of them. So not the most respect because I'm getting betrayed, but some respect. You wrote me in. You wrote me in a little bit. I'll go re-2-pecked on Ghostface.
Yeah, I would have it more in the gentleman. It's been a privilege playing with you tonight, but I'm definitely in that area because there's always multiple Ghostface. It's not one person chasing you.
Yeah, right. It's true.
Hannibal Lecter.
So he's smarter than me, but he's also old, and he can't overpower me, but he can outthink me and trap me. So maybe it's been a privilege playing with him. If if he traps me, he gets me, and I'll tip the hat to him.
What do you think he eats first?
I don't know. It depends. Does he like a fatty cut or I'm not sure. Does he like
if anyone can comment in the YouTube section, let us know what you think Hannibal Lecter would eat from Mac
I would
first.
say like hamstring would be the first bite.
You do have creamy hamstrings.
Yeah.
The Invisible Man.
Well, he's fucking invisible. So what do you want me to do? I don't respect him as much as I do like Freddy though. You know, so you're gonna die. Yeah,
so you're gonna
I'm
die.
not even impressed by him. That's too easy. Although, the thing he would kill me with wouldn't be invisible though. So I'd just see like a floating knife or gun.
So pretty much out of nowhere, this guy pops up and he kills you, and you're like, I don't really respect how you just did that.
Yeah, Don't care for it. Camper. He's a camper.
So you're going to die. I know what you did last summer.
He would be getting revenge for one of my past transgressions.
Yep,
yeah,
spite.
I would respect the spite, and I have probably done something to him. So I'll go re-2-pecked on him.
Re-2-pecked. Jason Voorhees.
I don't see myself spending too much time in the woods, although I just did go to a summer camp a couple weeks ago.
What if you go to Manhattan? Or space?
Or space, yeah. Yeah, he's a little more versatile than Michael. But I'd still be kind of embarrassed.
So I'm pretty sure that he turned into a worm in one of the movies, and then he regenerated himself.
Where'd I mess up with Jason? How'd I let him get me? Where'd I mess up?
I kind of wish that I made this tier, where did I go wrong?
The Fray.
The Fray. Jaws.
Where'd I mess up? How'd I let a shark get me? A fucking shark ate me.
Well, I mean, if you're in the ocean, what are you going to do?
You can't be in the ocean.
You can't just avoid the ocean. You can't just avoid the ocean. The Jaws can get the boat, though. What if your boat's not big enough? You're always going to need a bigger boat.
I mean, the only way I'm dying via Jaws is if I survive a plane crash in the ocean, and then a Jaws gets me.
Jeeper Creeper.
He's pretty creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can fly, too.
He can fly.
So I don't know how I'm supposed to get away from him.
Most career kills in horror movie history, too.
He might like my skin, too. I don't know. Gentlemen, it's been a privilege playing with you tonight.
I'll tell you what, I think Buffalo Bill would have a time with you. Turn you into a nice outfit. Gator boots with the bipped out Gucci suits. Jigsaw.
I would be honored. This is why I like Jigsaw. He gives you a chance to get out. He doesn't have to kill you. He gives you a chance to get out. So the utmost of respect to Jigsaw, because he's given me a chance, and I like solving problems. I like puzzles. Jigsaw's giving me a chance. Re-5-pack.
Well, while you have a bear trap attached to your head, you're like, this is my style.
I mean, I might have to lose an elbow or something, but at least I'm alive.
Leatherface.
It feels Frankenstein-y. I'd be embarrassed if Leatherface gets me.
And as you're trapped in that house, you're like, this place stinks.
Like, I would just never go to the house, you know? I'd be embarrassed.
The Leprechaun. It's me, the Leprechaun.
Well, I guess he's got some abilities, but also, I'd just punt him like Chucky.
He can go to the hood. He can go to space.
I'm punting this guy. I'm embarrassed.
You're punting. M. Thregan.
So she's a cyborg, so probably stronger than me, right?
AI.
Yeah, she's smart, too.
Mm-hmm.
She probably has maybe like a weapon arm. I don't know.
Also, she's also out for revenge if you do anything wrong to her girl.
I wouldn't be able to get away from her.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfair, though. Unfair playing field. So I guess you're gonna die.
Do you want to Mario Maker it? Want to add unfair gameplay?
No. If there was one less tear, maybe.
Okay, so where is this going?
So you're gonna die.
So you're gonna die. How about Monkey Bone?
Where did I mess up?
I'm not even sure if Monkey Bone kills anybody.
Yeah, that's why I'd be curious.
To be fair,
get myself into?
This tier was created by the other Billy D, and I'm pretty sure that I meant to write Monkey Shines, and my brain just always goes Monkey Bone.
Sure.
And he's like, should I fix it? No, leave Monkey Bone in there.
Okay.
How about Monkey Shines?
Is this from that movie that came out this year or last year?
No, it's the one from like the 90s.
Oh, I don't know what this killer is. So
it's a monkey.
I'm embarrassed.
How about a mummy?
I mean, if you just had a lighter, you could probably kill a mummy, right?
Yeah, but you'd be responsible for putting the mummy out, though.
No.
As soon as you light it on fire, you're like, shit, now I cursed. Now you'd be like, oh, man, now I have to put the mummy out.
I'd be embarrassed if a fucking mummy kills me.
That's a swear for you, too. Norman Bates.
So I could see myself at a roadside inn.
Yeah.
I would just try to get out of there as early as possible, though, and I would never let him into the unit. So I think I'd be embarrassed just by a regular guy.
A regular guy who has a fake mother. Speaking of mothers, Pamela Voorhees.
If a geriatric woman kills me, I've messed up. Where did I mess up that she has the opportunity to kill me?
Well, if she's trying to kill you, where you messed up is you're responsible for her son's death. Okay. Or she thinks you are.
Right.
Because she puts you all in the same cauldron.
She generalizes.
Yeah, it's like, you're not paying enough attention to the kids. You're out there doing sex and having drugs.
One of the more visceral reactions I've ever had to a movie, I said, where'd I mess up for Pamela? Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Is when Kevin Bacon gets the arrow through him from underneath the bed. Yeah. All-time kill.
Pennywise.
Pennywise stinks. I mean, so would I have to be like 10 or 12? Or I guess it could be like It Too, you're an adult, huh?
Yeah.
I don't think Pennywise would get me. I would have messed up for him to get me. Where'd I mess up for Pennywise to get me?
You're always looking down sewer grates.
That's my thing.
Yeah. And you're always trying to get your paper boats out. So he'd probably grab you then.
That's where'd I mess up? I made a paper boat.
No, the pilgrim guy from Thanksgiving.
I haven't watched that movie. I'll let you take this one for me.
He has some decent kills, but I'd be embarrassed to be killed by a guy wearing a mask. Oh, actually.
That was my inclination.
He does make one of the people, not to spoil anything, he cooks them like a turkey. Well, pretty gross scene.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to move it up. Creativity. Pinhead.
I mean, I know Pinhead, and I am aware of the Hellraiser movies. I don't know what he can do, though.
I think
he can do stuff.
He's made of leather. He's got pins in his head. He uses chains.
Don't call him a pinhead.
He's got his Cinnabons. So, they're all going to get at you.
He seems like he could. So you're going to die. That's where I'd put him.
So you're going to die. How about a predator?
Oh, if re-5 pecked here. I mean, honestly, it's unfair, but if a predator is taking me as a trophy, I'd be honored.
Wolfman.
So he could only kill me with a full moon, so I could just really have to stay inside. So I'd have to mess up. Where'd I mess up for Wolfman to kill me?
Well, Wolfman can also enter your home. He's not a Dracula.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Where'd I mess up? I leave a door unlocked or what?
How about a xenomorph?
I feel like with xenomorphs, they're not coming to the earth, whereas predators out there. So I would have had to mess up, but I also would I have a little more respect than that. So you're going to die.
So you're going to die. And then finally, zombies.
See, love-hate with the zombies. Just keep moving. But also, I like to take a snooze every now and then. So, gentlemen, it's been a privilege playing with you tonight.
Just keep moving, but also my cardio is really in the tank right now. All right, let's go through these tiers, and Matt can move things around after if he has to. I'm embarrassed. Michael Myers, Chucky, Art the Clown, Frankenstein's Monster, Leatherhead, Leprechaun, Monkey Shines, The Mummy, and we have Psycho.
Norman Bates.
Yeah,
I'm good with all those. I'm embarrassed by all those.
Where'd I mess up? We have Jason Voorhees, Jaws, Monkey Bone, Pamela Voorhees. We have Pennywise, the Thanksgiving Pilgrim, and Wolfman.
Yeah, that works for me.
So, you're gonna die. Buffalo Bill, Invisible Man, M. Thregan, Pinhead, and Xenomorph.
I think I want to move Invisible Man up because if I know he's coming for me, then it's sort of a fun game I can play, right?
Doesn't sound fun at all.
Carry paint with me around all times, just splashing it randomly in the air, thinking he's there.
I'm just antiquing everybody. I'm just carrying flour around. Yeah. Gentlemen, it's been a privilege playing with you tonight. Hannibal Lecter, Jeeper Creeper, Zombies, and Invisible Man.
Mm-hmm. Good with that.
Ritu Pecht, a Dracula, Ghostface, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
specifically a woman Dracula, I think I could get roped in by her. If it was a male Dracula I died with, I'd have to put where did I mess up. But a woman Dracula, I think, could get me.
Well, you fell in love with a Dracula. That's where you messed up.
Yeah.
I fell in love with a Dracula. She's whining and dining. And then finally, Re5 packed the top of the tier heap. Candyman, Freddy Krueger, Jigsaw, and a Predator.
Yeah, happy with that. Pleased with the tier.
All right, we nailed another tier. October is off to a swimming start. All right, Mac, where can the folks find us?
You can find us on Instagram and X at Mac and Goo Podcast. Every other platform, we are Mac & Goo. That's Mac Shift7 Goo. That includes Facebook, Stitcher, Castbox, Spreaker, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify, and more importantly, Apple Podcasts. Get on there, rate, review, subscribe. 5 stars. If you do that, one day in the future, we will get you a free Mac and Goo t-shirt for the folks over at Watertown Sportswear. Watertown Sportswear on 34 Mount Auburn Street in Watertown. WatertownSportswear.com. Expert screen printing and embroidery.
tpublic.com. Merch. Check us out. Next week, we'll have a news dump and a smashing machine.
And that seems like another movie that I also liked a little more than Goo did. So that'll be an interesting one.
Well, he's more machine than smashing.
You know what this movie does? If you haven't seen Smashing Machine, I do think it's worth seeing in the theater, but it's not, if you miss it, you're going to be okay. They set you up really well by calling it Smashing Machine and then giving you such a human story and such a relatable story and a very base story of like, wow, like this is, people similar, not UFC fighters, but people that have been in similar situations. So I will just say it's a movie worth watching, whether in the theater or not, up to you.
Oh, and then also not to get sportsy, but there's been a topic going around today, and we'll know the result of the Red Sox-Yankees by the time this episode drops on Friday. But there is a Walpole native that goes by the name of Cam Schlittler, who is pitching for the Yankees. And a story is that he has converted his entire family into Yankees fans. And there are some Sox fans out there saying, well, they must not have been real Red Sox fans in the first place. I'm going to toss this out there right now. If my son played for the Yankees, I would set my Red Sox stuff on fire.
Easily. I already kind of hate the Red Sox anyways.
I love them. I love the Red Sox.
Allegiances to a team just because it's your hometown team is dumb. Find a reason to like a team. If you, for example, if a good friend of mine played for a team, that's the team I'm rooting for. Don't just root for the team because you live an hour away from the stadium. Find a real legitimate reason.
I live 5 minutes from the stadium. A stadium that I don't want to go to again. I don't like going to Fenway.
I'm all set going. I'll go to Fenway for concerts.
Oh, Mac loves concerts. He loves music.
Mm-hmm.
He loves music. So, Tuesdays or Goose Days, I abuse kangaroos. Tim Burton. You going to say bye?
Bye. I was just thinking about the irony of that statement as I wear a New England Patriots sweatshirt. But I root for this guy because he's got a cool hat.
I love the Patriots. I love the Patriots.
I did say this. I don't have a hate for the Patriots. Letting Tom Brady go was a mistake.
Yes.
My issue with the Patriots is we are never, ever going to be as happy as we were when Tom Brady played for them. So I don't know if I need to be invested in them anymore, right?
You live life in a very weird way.
Okay. Fair enough.
Please flip the cassette over to side B to continue the adventure.
Now it's time for girls jumping on trampolines.
Bye.